Alrighty, so welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do something actually very different today. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you kind of a kit bash that I'm attempting to do with a 40K model and kind of go through that and see where we're going. So I actually want to make a Dark Angels, like as a chapter, like basically not a chapter master, sorry, but like a master. I want him to be using a jump pack, but I felt that a lot of the jump packs are kind of boring. So what I did was I picked up this Blood Angels guy at Astorath the Grim. So he's a fine cast model, and these are his parts. I did end up taking out the the actual jetpack itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of clean this up, and we will go from there. Okay, so I thought I'd hop over and just do a voiceover for the rest of this while I speed it up so you guys aren't watching this. Originally, it was about 45 minutes in footage, and I don't think anybody would want to watch that. So I'll give a little bit of a parts list just so you guys know what I did use. And I guess, first of all, a huge shout out to the local community for helping me get a lot of the bits so I didn't have to purchase them like actually in their respective box sets. Now, the one thing I don't like about Finecast, which I did have to order this model, is that I do find Finecast to be a bit weaker than the plastic. It's just it isn't filled properly. But anyways, back to the bits. As you can see here, I'm using a black Templar body that I picked up. I'm also using a Dark Angels upgrade sprue for the basically Angels of Death sword. And then I am using for the legs, if you can see them off in the far left-hand corner, is I am using legs from an Assault Marine. Now, I used a Grey Knight Strike Squad for the arm, and I was very specific. I wanted the bolter, the storm bolter on one hand while he was holding the demon head, which I thought would be really cool. Now, the funny thing about this is, as I was putting it together, and this is why I'm looking at the book again, the instructions showcase that you put the demon head on this one arm, and it had this little almost like tube thing attached to it, so it wouldn't allow it to rotate the head fully. So I was like, well, this is dumb, so I had to change that and cut out another head, glue it together, and then put it on like that, which I just think it's kind of frustrating. So it's like sometimes GW does a good job with their instruction manuals, sometimes not so much. Now, the other arm I was actually planning on using from the same Grey Knights squadron, and I kind of started mocking that up, glued the piece on, and then I was like, you know what, this actually doesn't look very good anymore, because I didn't exactly like the angle at which it was going. So what I ended up doing, if you can see it right now, I actually ended up digging around in my bits bag for a... basically, it's from the Blood Angels Death Company. It was a leftover arm that I had that was kind of more downward facing, and I used that. So I guess I could include that in a cost, but I don't really like. I mean, it was just a leftover bit that I already used. So, but yeah, and then for the final, like the head, I was very particular. I wanted the hooded Dark Angels veteran squad. Now, I kept on putting my glue right in the way of the camera, which was kind of dumb. But yeah, so I used the hooded head from the Dark Angels veteran squad. And yeah, so that's basically it. As you can see me kind of finally putting it together. Just making sure. The one thing I did find is because the angle of how you put the head on and off really makes a huge difference. So yeah, overall, I mean, I actually really enjoyed how it turned out, and I really like how it looks on the tabletop with the just the jump pack and how elevated and how much it makes it stand out. I will paint it eventually. I don't know when. I personally am not the best painter, but yeah, huge shout out to the Warhammer community, the local Warhammer community, that helped me get the parts, and obviously I didn't have to buy everything brand new. But yeah, so if you do like the content, please like it, comment, let me know if you want to see any more weird kit bashes that I've done, and definitely subscribe. I probably won't do this as much, but I definitely I might do it if more people like it. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. So take care.